Hello, dear students and English language teaching specialists. Welcome to the 12th lecture of our series of the book, which is entitled
The Semantic Web Trajectory in Enhancing English Language Development.
This book is prepared to focus on using Web 3.0 for developing pre-service English language teachers' competencies and performance-based assessment.
The title of this lecture is Performance-Based Assessment, Types and Features.
Let's warm up our minds by answering the following questions. 1. What types of performance-based assessments have you encountered in your education? 2. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of using performance-based assessments? 3. How do performance-based assessments differ from traditional assessments?
Now let's move on to the content of the lecture. The types of performance-based assessment. There are various types of performance-based assessment, including presentations, simulations, portfolios, performances, projects, and essays. In this lecture, we will explore each of these types of performance-based assessment in more detail. Presentations. A presentation is a type of performance-based assessment that allows students to demonstrate their knowledge and skills by presenting information to an audience. Presentations may take various forms, including oral presentations, posters, or multimedia presentations. Oral presentations involve students speaking to an audience, often using visual aids such as PowerPoint slides. Poster presentations involve displaying information on a poster board, while multimedia presentations incorporate multimedia elements such as audio, video, and animations. Presentations assess students' abilities to communicate effectively, organize information, and use visual aids to enhance their message. Simulations. A simulation is a type of performance-based assessment that allows students to practice and demonstrate their skills in a simulated environment. Simulations may take the form of virtual laboratories or role-playing games where students can practice applying their knowledge and skills in a realistic setting. Simulations assess students' abilities to apply knowledge and skills to practical situations, make decisions, and solve problems. Portfolios. A portfolio is a type of performance-based assessment that is a collection of the students' work that demonstrates their progress and achievement over time. Portfolios may contain various types of work, such as written assignments, projects, presentations, and self-reflections. Portfolios assess students' abilities to reflect on their learning, make connections between different learning experiences, and demonstrate growth over time. Performances. A performance is a type of performance-based assessment that allows students to demonstrate their skills through a physical or creative activity. An example of performances includes acting performances. Performances assess students' abilities to apply knowledge and skills in a creative and artistic way, as well as their ability to work collaboratively and receive feedback. Projects. A project is a type of performance-based assessment that involves the student completing a specific task or creating a product. Examples of projects include research papers, lesson plans, or multimedia presentations. Projects assess students' abilities to plan and manage a project, conduct research, analyze data, and communicate their findings effectively. Essays. Essays are a type of performance-based assessment that may take the form of research papers, argumentative essays, or descriptive essays. Essays assess students' abilities to communicate effectively, organize information, and use evidence to support their arguments.
Now let's move on to the next subject of the lecture. Features of an effective performance-based assessment. An effective performance-based assessment should possess certain key features that ensure its validity, reliability, fairness, authenticity, and usefulness for both students and educators. In this lecture, we will explore each of these features in more detail. Validity. The validity of a performance-based assessment refers to the extent to which it measures what it is supposed to measure. For a performance-based assessment to be valid, it should align with the learning objectives and goals of the course or program. It should also measure the specific skills and knowledge that students are expected to demonstrate and should not measure other factors, such as test-taking skills or unrelated factors. Reliability. The reliability of a performance-based assessment refers to its consistency and stability over time. A reliable performance-based assessment should yield consistent results for the same students when administered multiple times or by different assessors. To ensure reliability, the assessment should have clear and consistent criteria for scoring, and assessors should be trained to use these criteria consistently. Fairness. The fairness of a performance-based assessment refers to its impartiality and absence of bias. The assessment should be free from any cultural or linguistic biases that could disadvantage certain students. It should also be administered in a way that ensures that all students have an equal opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge and skills. Authenticity. The authenticity of a performance-based assessment refers to its resemblance to real-world situations and contexts. An authentic performance-based assessment should simulate the types of tasks and challenges that students are likely to encounter in their future careers or lives. This type of assessment promotes deep learning and motivation as students can see the relevance of what they are learning to their future lives. Constructive feedback. Effective performance-based assessments should provide constructive feedback to students. Feedback should be specific, timely, and focused on areas where the student needs to improve. It should also provide suggestions for how the student can improve their performance in the future. Engaging and challenging. An effective performance-based assessment should be engaging and challenging for students. It should stimulate their curiosity and motivate them to learn. It should also be challenging enough to require students to use higher-order thinking skills and to apply their knowledge and skills in new and unfamiliar situations. Aligned with learning objectives. A performance-based assessment should be aligned with the learning objectives and goals of the course or program. The assessment should measure the specific skills and knowledge that students are expected to demonstrate. Practical and feasible. Finally, an effective performance-based assessment should be practical and feasible to administer. The assessment should be manageable in terms of time, resources, and logistics. It should also be flexible enough to accommodate different learning styles and abilities.
Now we have reached the assessment. Part 1. True or false with justification. 1. Validity refers to the consistency and stability of a performance-based assessment over time. 2. A reliable performance-based assessment should yield consistent results for the same students when administered multiple times or by different raters. 3. An effective performance-based assessment should be biased in favor of certain students. 4. Constructive feedback in a performance-based assessment should provide suggestions for how the student can improve their performance in the future. 5. An effective performance-based assessment should not be challenging for students. Part 2. Multiple choice questions. 6. What is the purpose of a portfolio? A. To assess students' ability to apply knowledge and skills in a creative and artistic way. B. To simulate practical situations for students to practice their skills. C. To collect and showcase students' work over time. D. To assess students' ability to communicate effectively. 7. Which of the following is a key feature of effective performance-based assessments? A. Biased and unfair scoring criteria. B. Irrelevant and unrelated assessment tasks. C. Specific, timely, and constructive feedback. D. Easy and simple assessment tasks. 8. Which of the following is not a type of performance-based assessment? A. Multiple choice test. B. Presentation. C. Portfolio. D. Project. 9. Which of the following is a key feature of an authentic performance-based assessment? A. Free from cultural or linguistic biases. B. Resemblance to real-world situations and contexts. C. Aligned with learning objectives. D. Manageable in terms of time and resources. 10. What is the purpose of a performance-based assessment? A. To assess students' test-taking skills. B. To measure students' general knowledge and intelligence. C. To simulate practical situations for students to apply their knowledge and skills. D. To assess students' ability to memorize and recall information.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and as always, feel free to leave a comment below with any questions or feedback. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more.